and I run my own food consultancy business. I work with companies up and down the UK and help them with their food offering and their new product ranges. So it's been about 3 years now of being self-employed, and it's just been the most remarkable time of my life. I can't even explain how happy being self-employed has made me. I probably wrote my first book 3 years ago, launched it 2 years ago, and since then things have just been non-stop, things have been crazy, but just so amazing at the same time, so enjoyable. Every day there's a new opportunity, there's always another thing waiting for me, and I couldn't be happier with where I am. It's so satisfying to have this feeling of self-approval. I can't explain how happy going self-employed made me. It's been 2 years of hard work in writing book number 2, but 3 years ago I wrote book number 1, and having that launched, I just had opportunities open for me, and since then I took it in my stride and I decided, right, this is my journey and I'm going to do it myself. So I was born and raised in Wolverhampton in the West Midlands, and I'm part of a very, very large family. So every weekend there was something to attend, be it a birthday or a wedding, or whether it was Christmas or Diwali, but I remember being surrounded by food. And with Indian parties, it's always bring your own food. So different family members would be bringing different dishes, and this feast would just come together. And I just remember thinking, how amazing. Like, I was only little, but food blew me away at the age of 3 or 4. And then watching TV with my parents, I just wanted to watch the cooking channels. I wanted to watch my foodie heroes all day long. That was Ken Hom, Rick Stein, Keith Floyd, just old school chefs, and I just loved the way they work. And that's all I wanted to do. I just didn't know how. You know, there wasn't much resource available in Wolverhampton growing up in the 90s. But then when the time came to go to university, I spoke to my teachers. At that time, I didn't have a lot of confidence. I didn't know who I was. I didn't fit in. I didn't feel like any of the other girls my age. But all I wanted to do was cook and work with food. And then the more I expressed this to my teachers, they said, well, have you thought about the University College of Birmingham? Because it's great for young people like myself that want to go into the chefing industry. So I went to UCB for an open day, and I was just blown away. Walking into a building and seeing like students walking around in chef whites and chef lecturers, and the classrooms had kitchens and lecture theatres, I was just completely blown away, and I thought, okay, I found home now. This is my family, this is where I belong now, I need to be a chef. So at the age of 18, I made the decision to be a chef, and I went back and told my family, and they were like, right, okay, fine, we'll support you. And then when I was talking to the wider family, the response wasn't the same. I grew up as part of a large family, and I had a lot of cousins and second cousins my own age. Some of them went away to do medicine, law, accountancy, pharmacy, and then there was me, who chose culinary arts management. And it was just unheard of when I was going to university, but stuck to my guns, and I'm glad I did, because I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't do that course. So despite all of that going on with the wider Asian community, I just got my head down and I concentrated all my energy and all my efforts as to what I was good at, which was cooking and working with food and being creative. So the time came to go to university. So I'm on this course now, and it's full of 100 students my own age. Great, brilliant. However, 90 of them are guys, 10 are girls, and there was only one Asian, and that was me. So not only was there a barrier when it came to sex, being a male-dominated course, there was also a barrier with Asians. There was hardly any Asians doing this course, and I know why. It's not a stereotypical course to do, but I was just mind blown by this. I was like, why is it so different? But you know what? I'm glad I did it, because it made me stand out, and it taught me so many valuable lessons. If you're good at something, you need to channel it, and I'm glad I did. So having graduated in 2011, I left uni to go into the hospitality industry. So I started working in restaurants and hotels, and as some of you may know, the hospitality industry is not easy. It's long hours, it's every single weekend, it's every single evening, and it takes its toll on your body. But you know what? Challenge accepted. I wanted to do it. So I started working in kitchens, and again, same experience. I'm the only girl in the kitchen. not only am I the only girl in the kitchen, I'm the only brown girl in the kitchen, I'm the shortest person in the kitchen, I'm small and petite. I don't have a voice at this point, so how am I going to handle myself? But again, challenge accepted. I did what I can, and I progressed from being a commis chef to a chef de partie to a sous chef to being a kitchen manager. And I was only 22 at this point, and I thought, you know what? I love what I do. I love working with food, and I know I'm good at it, but I don't ever want to lose this passion. And if I carry on doing these hours and working in this industry, I will. So that's when I thought, how can I do something about this? And that's when it hit me, product development. I learned about product development at university, and it's an area I was really interested in. So I did some investigation and some research, and I researched the UK's largest food manufacturing companies, and I did a bit of research in regards to their product development teams, and I started applying. There weren't any roles available, I just started applying. I just started reaching out to people, sending my CV across, and for my first role I was given the role as a development chef for a company that produced Tesco's Indian ready meals. So 1 year in with this global food manufacturing company, and Tesco, the supermarket giant, reached out and asked how I felt to be part of their Tesco Chef campaign. So I think it's been 8 years now, and my picture is still in Tesco supermarket stores. So if you go down the ready meal aisle, my picture's still there, and that was my first year in product development. That was my first year in the industry. So to have that was just such a remarkable accolade, and I always remember that. And I think that was the start of my journey for me. That's what set my soul on fire and said, right, you need to do something with your journey and you need to make it count. So having my little moment of fame with the Tesco picture, I decided that that was the industry for me. I really wanted to work within product development with these large global food manufacturing companies, be part of the corporate world. It just inspired me to go far. So I think for a good 4 years I was working my way through the ladder, and I was enjoying what I was doing, but I was also seeing parts of the trade that I didn't enjoy. So the corporate world, I found out, is not for me. I was doing a lot of long hours, and I thought, well, why am I doing this, you know? I'm working for somebody else on £1 million contracts and earning them money for my recipes. And I had a long, hard think, and I thought, what can I do? And that's when the idea of my modern Indian kitchen came to me. And I just had this idea to write down recipes for myself, not for a corporate company for once, not to sell it to a supermarket, but for me. I didn't even know I was going to write a book. I just wanted to write down recipes for me. And I started writing down about spices, about my favourite foods, about cooking methods, about all sorts. And before I knew it, I just had this document, this file, which in essence made a manuscript. And then I started reaching out to publishers. I didn't realise there were so many publishers in the UK, but I emailed about 400 publishers, and every day it was rejection after rejection, and sorry, but you know, you're unheard of, sorry, but nobody knows your name, sorry, but there's too many Indian cookery books out on the market, sorry, there's not enough space for another Indian cookery book. And I was just getting beaten up by this, but I thought, no, like, I cannot give up. This is something I want to do, so I will do it. And I just kept carrying going, and then one day a publishing company from Holborn in London emailed me and said, wow, we love your manuscript, we love your style of food, we love what you're about, we love the idea of modern Indian cuisine. Let's have a meeting, let's grab a coffee. So off I went to London, drove for 2 hours, met with this company, and from there the idea of my modern Indian kitchen was born. And I signed a contract, and my first book was launched in March 2017, and since then I just had so many opportunities, and I had to make the decision in January 2017 of, what do I do now? Do I carry on working in the corporate world? Do I carry on answering to a boss who's answering to another boss who's answering to another boss? Or do I become my own boss? Do I wake up on my own terms? Do I go meet people on my own terms? Do I sell my own books for me? And yeah, it was scary. I'm not going to lie, you know, it wasn't a rosebud. I had no savings, and I just thought I had to make a snap decision, and I did. And I'm so glad I did. If I was going to advise anyone else, I would say have some savings behind you. But I honestly don't regret it. I'm glad I did it when I did it. because I was young. Well, I say young. I was 27. I was single, had no kids, no mortgage. That was the time to do it, and I'm so glad I did, because I could attend TV interviews, I could attend radio interviews, I could go to networking events, I could push my brand on my terms. And I learned the importance of consistency for myself, not for another company, but to be consistent for my business. So in the summer of 2017, I launched my own business, Nitisha Patel Food Consultancy, and people were reaching out to me via social media, via LinkedIn, and asking me what my day rate was, and it was just incredible, because people didn't want to go to a large corporate company for food innovation. They wanted to come to me, the unknown chef from Wolverhampton. So having that behind me just meant the world, and my business stands for something, and knowing I'm adding value to independent and large corporate businesses just means so much. I've worked with so many great clients up and down the UK. I've worked with recipe meal boxes, with restaurants, with other food manufacturers, and doing that on my own terms, with me creating my own contract, it's just so satisfying for my soul. It means the world to me. Being a chef isn't the most glamorous job in the world. Not allowed to get my nails done, not allowed to have any piercings, very rarely get my hair done. However, despite all of that, having launched my book, I'm very fortunate because I get lots of invites. I get to go to awards. I've been awarded as a Midlands Rising Star in Food, Drink and Hospitality. I've been awarded as a Black Country's Master of Food. And I'm also on the judging panel for the Midlands Food, Drink and Hospitality Awards. So it's great going to all these events. I get to host my own events when I do my book launches as well. So kind of loving life at the minute. It's nice getting dressed up. So my second book, The Delicious Book of Dal, launched in early September of 2019. And what a journey so far. My second book is completely vegan, vegetarian, and based solely on one ingredient, lentils. That's right, a book just on lentils. But it's doing so well. It's available globally. It's available in leading bookstores such as WH Smith's, Waterstones, Amazon. I mean, how crazy is that, right? But like I said, the book has got 55 recipes just on lentils. When I was preparing for the launch, I wanted to go out with a bang. I wanted to do something big, and I wanted the West Midlands to be like, okay, wow, this girl means business. So I collaborated with spice manufacturers and foodie giants East End Foods, and I had my venue in their function room, which is a corporate theatre, you could say. And it's such a stunning room. It's got a view of the whole of Birmingham City. It's got floor-to-ceiling windows. It's got an amazing stage, so the venue was stunning. Being a UCB girl, I collaborated with UCB again because obviously they have the best chef students. So I was lucky enough to have 3 chef students on the night, which helped me with my catering. So in terms of the catering, we had canapes, and the canapes were based on recipes from the book. So they were so well received because we had dosas, we had pancakes, we had burgers made from lentils, we had all sorts. We even had waffles made out of lentils. So I was really, really happy with how my catering went. But it's just the little finishing touches that people were impressed by. You know, my backdrops, my screen, I had Chef Nitisha merchandise. So yeah, 6 months planning, but it was worth it. I'm so, so glad with how my launch event went. I was really nervous about how am I going to do this speech. I haven't got anything prepared, but it all just fell into place. It all just happened naturally. So I want my style of food to resonate with people my own age. Now, I come from a generation where a lot of people, unfortunately, still don't know how to cook. I've got friends my age that get married and then they're like, oh, I don't know how to cook for my partner. So I want people to know how to cook traditional Indian food, and for that, I've developed a tikka tadka oil. So for those of you that don't know what a tadka is the most fundamental part of any Indian dish. It's a seasoned oil, and people actually don't know how to do it, so I've kind of bottled it. So I've got Tisha's tikka tadka oil, and in here there's cumin seeds, there's curry leaves, there's coriander seeds, there's chili, there's cinnamon, there's clove. It's the essence of all Indian food in a bottle. The longer you leave it, the better it gets. The flavours just come through over time, and you can use this to start off any curry, any stir-fry dish. You can even fry your eggs with this oil. You can use it as a salad dressing, just don't use the seeds. There is so much potential with this one product, and people my age love it because they don't know how to do a tadka. Well, here you go, it's in a bottle, and there's no excuses. So question time then, what is tadka? Now how many of you go to a restaurant and order tadka dal? That's right, that's what it is, tadka, Tarka. It's seasoned oil and it's known all over the country, but people just don't know about it, referred to as tadka. You call it tarka, well it's actually tadka. You know, looking back now, in some shape or form throughout different processes of my life, I've been told no, you're not good enough. Be it family members that aren't that close, be it ex-boyfriends, be it teachers, be it colleagues. There's always someone in my life at various stages making me feel inadequate or that I wasn't good enough. And, you know, enough was enough. I was sick and tired of it, and I thought, no, I can't live like this, you know. Like, I've got more to give to the world, and there's a lot more out there for me, and I know I've got the potential to do it. And at times, you know, I was a recluse and I just kind of went away and I didn't have that fire. But when I did, oh my God, I went all out. You know, this is me, this is who I am. I have my flaws, and you either love me or you don't. And it is what it is, and I'm going to go all out. And I have a vision, just like many of you watching do have a vision. And all I can say to you is, live by your vision. You know, wake up, set yourself some goals and smash your goals. And that's what life's all about. Life would be so boring if you lived each day the same way. You know, challenge yourself, set yourself some goals, impress yourself, do what you can, go out there, network, do what you have to do, because life is too short. Honestly, be consistent, smash your goals, stay strong, and make it happen for yourself.